So, Miss Emily, would you like to say anything about what was talked about?
Um, just that we don't have to put ourselves down and we don't have to run from God's goodness and His miracles in our life. We don't have to run from being successful.
Right, right.
That's all I got.
Okay. Well, thank you. That's an excellent point, and it's very true. Some people can go to the exact opposite to say, yeah, that if you want to really please God and be good, you have to be dirt poor, and that's not that's not true either. There were plenty of people in Scripture who were extremely rich and were wonderful, phenomenal people of God. They were rich because God blessed them because He knew He could trust them with that, and they continued. They were so giving. Even I know people today that have a lot of money, but there's a reason they have all that money, you know. Churches and stuff, and not all big churches are bad. Some of them give more money to one thing than I'd ever make in a lifetime, but they're extremely giving, extremely generous, and so God blesses them, and so yeah, it's okay to be successful if we do it God's way.
All right.
Thank you, Emily.
Uh,
Jonathan, did you want to say anything?
Just I'm thinking that it reminds me of the T.D. Jakes sermon that you talked about a few weeks ago. There was the part where you were talking about how you got to leave people with the donkeys and go on alone.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the same thing with Gideon. And the point you made in that sermon was that not everybody that starts with you is going to end with you.
Right.
And that's kind of.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Excellent.
That's kind of,
Mm-hmm.
The Bible stories are sort of concise, compact versions of what we actually go through.
Right.
Lessons we see someone go through in the Bible. We read about it so quickly, and maybe it happens so quickly for them, but then our experiencing of it is so long and dragged out. So like Gideon lost 20,000 people in a day.
Yeah.
Which is insane, but that's life. I mean,
yeah.
Gideon lost 20,000 people in a day. Jesus, all his disciples left him.
Yeah.
Abraham had to leave the people with the donkeys.
Joseph lost his family.
All of Joseph's brothers threw him into slavery. King David not grew up, but his younger life he spent with Saul in the castle, making friends and family in the castle, and then next thing you know, he was on the run. He was living in a cave. That's just kind of is a part of what has to happen with Gideon and anybody else. That
right.
You gotta lose everybody. It's just part of it. So then, for that reason, that you're not gonna be able to tell the world like, yeah, me and my boys pulled it together, bro. Your boys left you, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't nothing to do with your boys. It was your God.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
And I think that's kind of what it all is.
Right.
So that's it.
Thank you. Miss Debbie?
Okay, I'm going to read out of my, Julie got me a Bible, American Patriot Bible.
Okay.
And usually we have little inserts of little, things that are patriotic.
Okay.
Happened. I'm going to read about this. Francis Marion, the Swamp Fox. Francis Marion was a brigadier general in the South Carolina military during the Revolutionary War, which was 1795. So anyhow, he became known as the Swamp Fox because he set up his base of operation in a swamp.
Wow.
Marion's brigade was
Oh yeah.
revolutionary than we did.
Oh yeah.
Because we all, but I'm just saying, we had people like him, like Washington, like whoever was, in battle, that was able to come up against this and still had victory.
Right.
Okay. Says, okay. It was a volunteer force that could assemble at a moment's notice, hit the British and loyalists and garrisons, and disappeared into the swamp. He was considered one of the fathers of modern guerrilla warfare. While the British occupied most of the South Colonies, large-scale resistance was impossible. Marion and his patriotic Union was a powerful force of the South, as Nathaniel Greene later wrote. Surrounded on every side with a superior force hunted from every quarter with veteran troops, he had found means to elude their attempts to keep alive the expiring hopes of the oppressed military. So he was able, obviously, this was probably, if he was in here, he did a little bit more research, but anyhow, they were showing where he would, and I remember even during World War II, a lot of the battles that we fought, I know it was Patton. He was a very man who would pray a lot and stuff like that, and they came up against some unbelievable odds in some of the
Yeah.
battles he was in. And after he would win, he would go to a church
Wow.
and thank God
Yeah.
for what, and the good thing, God used him through that war to win these things. And after the war, it was weird how he died from some kind of, real stupid thing like, I forgot what it was exactly. But he was, but he didn't die in the war. He was led by God. Just like even now when we talk about Israel, if it wasn't for remember the 7-day, well, of course you hear about it,
Yeah.
7-day war.
Yeah.
They are still good and balanced in war. They come at God. You can see where he gives them, these people are all, have been from little on, they remember these things and are told about this stuff. Even to this day,
Yeah.
people are better warriors. And the reason why is because of God has favor in these people.
Yeah.
That's where but it's like you've got to keep explaining your victories to your children, to your children's children,
Yeah.
whatever. Okay, I can remember whatever, let's just say, this type of stuff. And I was up against it. I felt the same way you did.
Right.
But I overcame because I leaned on God's